Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Lon Schiffbauer, and today we're talking about how to recognize and exploit an opportunity. Now, we've all been kind of in this situation where we say, golly gee, if I could just go back in time, I could be rich. After all, $1,000 in Apple shares purchased back just before the Super Bowl ad of 1984 would be worth about 1.3 million today. And then 100 shares of Microsoft purchased just a couple years later, well, it'd be worth about 1.4 million today. And $100 worth of Amazon IPO shares, well, that would be worth almost $1.6 million today. And so a lot of folks are kind of like, oh, gee, if I could just go back and purchase that, I would be rich today. And yeah, you would be. Well, here's something I would like to offer. I believe that you are always in the right place at the right time. And it's not a matter of, oh, gee, if only I'd been born at a certain time. It's a question of recognizing that you're in the right place at the right time. Now, to demonstrate what I mean, let me show you my own life. I'll go ahead and get out of the way here. So if we come over to, well, this is my age from 15 to 55. So spanning, I don't know how many decades there. Math is hard. 40 decades, 4 decades. Anyway, so when I was 18 years old, well, whereabouts 18, Apple came out with the Macintosh. I graduated from high school in 1984. That's when the Mac came out. And yeah, my first computer was a Mac. Soon after that, Microsoft came out with Windows. Now, if you think that Microsoft copied Apple, remember, Apple copied Xerox PARC. Anyway, now, yeah, if I had purchased shares back then, I'd be rich today, but I didn't see the opportunity. I didn't have the money. We'll come back to that. So then I'm in my, I don't know, late 20s, and Intel comes out with the Pentium chip. This thing is a game changer, and just all of a sudden, Intel shares are going through the roof. Soon after, the World Wide Web is freely available to everyone. I still remember sitting in the kitchen one day and my wife coming in and saying, I heard about this thing called the World Wide Web. And I'm like 28, 29 years old. Gee, perfect place to be, right? In terms of taking advantage of an opportunity. Well, in my mid-30s, Google comes out. Now, at this stage, in 1998, $16 billion traded hands in e-commerce. And I'm working on my MBA, and I think, well, gee, I want to take advantage of this. And so I start a company called HeroicUniverse.com. And I sold comic books. I sold vintage comic books. Well, the company dissolved just about as quick as it started up for a variety of reasons. Well, real shame, because today in 2022, we're talking $4.25 trillion trading hands. Well, that's quite something. So while I miss out on the boat for a variety of reasons, Facebook comes along, does pretty well. Amazon, that's the original Amazon logo for those of you playing at home. Bitcoin comes out, and now we have things like the metaverse and AI coming out. So you see, all throughout my lifetime, I have been on this earth during some really, really pivotal moments. And so once again, I assert that we are always in the right place at the right time. That's not the question. The question is, do you recognize the opportunity? Do you know what to do with the opportunity? And do you have the resources to exploit the opportunity? And so that's what we are going to explore today. So with this in mind, let's first start with how to recognize an opportunity. The first thing is keep an open mind. All right. Opportunities can be kind of, hard to see. Many very bright technologists and economists said that the internet was nothing more than a fad and would burn out like a supernova. I'm not kidding. This was a very common conversation in the early days of the internet and the World Wide Web. People who can see opportunities are often those who can look past the social schemas that dominate the chatter and instead see through to the core opportunity. So they're not looking at the world as society and its constructs describe the world to us. They're able to just see right through all that and recognize the need and recognize the opportunity. Another thing is, don't fall into the trap of thinking that all opportunities are cool and sexy and need to be plugged in. The fact is, the more boring, the better, because these opportunities tend to be overlooked by the cultural zeitgeist. So while everybody is talking about tech and the cool stuff and so on and so forth, those who are able to see opportunity in the plain, boring, vanilla, beige areas, they're the ones who are going to have an advantage. Another thing is you need to recognize that an opportunity is really nothing more than an unmet need, a problem that needs solving. So you want to look for pain points in the world and in the environment around you, unmet needs, and the inefficiencies that are causing some people some level of pain or consternation. Now, remember, sometimes people don't yet know they have a problem until a solution is provided. So you can't just sit around and wait for people to say, here's a problem. You need to look for them and see them where others don't see them. That's what I mean by looking through the schemas. You also really want to look at trends. So keeping up with industry trends and changes in the market can help you identify emerging opportunities. That's because sometimes the opportunity is just to provide a monetizable structure around something that's already going on around the fringes. People are already doing it, but they're just kind of screwing around with it. It's a hobby. If you're able to put a monetizable construct or scaffolding or structure around something happening on the fringes, then you can make money. You also want to network and collaborate. Building relationships and working with others can help you discover new opportunities and gain valuable insights and perspectives. Now, when you do this, it's really good to, once again, keep an open mind. Network with people who are smarter than you and don't always agree with you, because this is where you are going to see things in different ways and help you break through the clutter. You also want to experiment and take risks. Experimenting and taking informed risks, calculated risks, can help you uncover opportunities that you might not have seen otherwise. And in fact, sometimes you might fail several times before you really hone in on that true, crystal clear opportunity. So bear that in mind. You also want to know your strengths and weaknesses. Knowing your strengths and skills can help you identify opportunities that really align and intersect with your areas of expertise. And likewise, knowing your weaknesses will make sure that you steer clear of opportunities that are just not a good fit. Don't force an opportunity that is not a good fit for who you are and where your skills and passions lie. It'll just be an exercise in futility. Okay, that's how to recognize an opportunity. Now, how do we exploit the opportunity? Well, first we need to evaluate it. I mean, there are literally opportunities everywhere. Not all of them have a real potential strong return on investment. So before you take any action, evaluate the opportunity, make sure it aligns with your goals, your values, and your capabilities. Also, consider the possible risks and rewards. Pursuing any opportunity has risks, but it should be that the reward, possible reward, outweighs the risks. That's something you'll need to evaluate. You'll also need to develop a plan. You can't just push a button and say, hey, we're now pursuing the opportunity. You need to plan out and outline the steps you're going to take in achieving your goals. This may include identifying resources. It'll definitely include identifying resources. We'll come back to that. Establishing timelines, setting specific milestones, things like that. And then you want to take action. With your plan in place, take action. This may involve taking those calculated risks we talked about, making strategic investments, and building relationship with key stakeholders and mentors. You also really want to monitor and adapt. You're not going to do it perfectly the first time, trust me. As you pursue the opportunity, monitor your progress and be prepared to adapt your approach if necessary. This may involve making changes to your strategy or seeking out new opportunities as they arise. It may be that as you pursue one opportunity, it begins to fizzle out, but points you in the direction of a new one. Be flexible, be fungible. You also want to learn and improve throughout this entire process. The last thing you want to do is let the opportunity slip through your fingers as it changes and evolves, but your strategies and tactics don't. You need to be nimble and move along with the opportunity. Continually reflect on your actions and their outcomes, constantly scanning the environment and increasing your industry acumen and expertise along the way. Okay, all of this means getting resources. Remember, we have to identify the opportunity, know how to exploit it, and get the resources to exploit it. Where are we going to get these? Well, your personal and professional network is immensely important. You can't do or provide everything yourself, but odds are you know somebody who can help you. Your professional network, your personal network is a valuable source for finding support and assistance. Reach out to friends and families, colleagues and acquaintances, anyone who may have the skills, expertise, and resources you need. You can also turn to professional organizations. Joining professional organizations and industry groups can help provide access to a wide range of resources, including networking opportunities, mentorship, and training. Odds are somebody has gone around this block before. You want these people as mentors. There's also crowdfunding, of course. Crowdfunding platforms can be an effective way to raise funds for your project. Platforms like Kickstarter, GoFundMe allow you to pitch the idea to a wide audience and raise funds from these supporters. Now, there are also business incubators and accelerators. A business incubator or an accelerator can provide support and resources to a startup and other entrepreneurs, including office space, mentorship, training, and funding. And odds are your local university or even community college offers programs such as these, so check them out. Now, you can also offer products and services to raise funds for your bigger picture. Sometimes the best way to fund something large and out of reach is to start small and go after the low-hanging fruit. By starting small and raising revenue through sales, you can make the mistakes that you will inevitably make, but at a lower risk, at a lower cost. So make the mistakes now so you don't make them when you're pursuing your larger ambitions. There are, of course, government programs, and depending on the nature of the opportunity, government programs can provide funding, training, and other resources. So look for programs that are specifically designed to support entrepreneurs and small business in your industry. Now, of course, there are investors, angel investors, and venture capitalists can provide the funding and support you need. However, don't make the mistake of thinking all you have to do is send these folks an email. Don't waste your time in this area until you have a really good, strong, viable product, a strong proof of concept that you can take to them, along with a business plan to say, yeah, this is going places. And so there you are. Remember, you are always in the right place at the right time to pursue incredible opportunities. It's just a question of recognizing it, knowing what to do with it, and having the resources to exploit it. So follow these tips and tricks, and you'll do some awesome stuff. All right? Thanks a lot for joining, and until we talk again, have a fantastic day.